Guys, let's start with our first story. Zelensky's back in the media because we can't get enough of Zelensky. I mean, let's take our attention off what's going on with Israel and Hamas and the whole thing, right? So Zelensky argues that just not a great time for elections. He's saying this just isn't a really good time right now for elections, and that we just have to.
Doesn't that make you feel all warm and fuzzy inside when your elected person whose election is coming up and their term is ending goes, yeah, just not a good time.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Not great.
What's so crazy about that too is this is what makes it so dumb. I just love what you said. Pay attention, Americans, because this is the kind of stuff they want to happen in America.
Absolutely.
Suspending elections. Something bad's going to happen to suspend elections. You know what I mean? So they're going to say, well, we just can't because nobody can get out and vote and blah, blah, blah.
We're in the middle of a war and we just can't do that
Yeah.
now.
It's wartime executive orders and we have to suspend things. Completely against the Constitution, so hopefully we're smart enough for that. But Zelensky argued that since Ukraine is in the middle of a war, the elections that are supposed to occur in March probably wouldn't be a good thing, he says. It's not the right time for elections. It's actually a perfect time for elections so people can vote as... Never mind, out. And finally, the waves of any political divisive things must stop, he said Monday. We must realize that now is the time of defense, the time of the battle that determines the fate of the state and of the people, not the time of manipulations, because that's not what you're doing, which only Russia expects from Ukraine. I believe that now is not the right time for elections, so says the dictator. And if we need to put an end to political dispute, and connect to work in unity, says El Dictator. And these are structures in the state that are capable of putting an end to it and give society all the necessary answers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You will give us the answers, sir, dictator, sir. So that there's no room left for conflicts and someone else's game against Ukraine.
Beside the word salad that I don't think he knows what he's talking about, basically, let's give you the answers. You don't need to worry about the answer because Russia may manipulate things, and that includes the election. So let's just give you the answer that I'm supposed to be in charge. That's all we need to do. And one of the biggest reason why I picked this out is, like Massey said, Americans, pay attention. Pay attention. If any of you wants to say they would never do that, that would never happen. Yeah, let's go back 5 years, and you were probably the same one saying, oh, they would never shut down the economy. They would never tell businesses they have to close. Oh, funny. They did just that under the guise of crisis, and we can't allow you to be at risk. How quickly before we're embroiled in some war, and they said, well, by the risk of manipulation of China and Russia, China, which they already tried to do, of saying Russia manipulated the election and that's why Trump got in. Now, I would not be surprised. I'm not making a prophetic prediction, but I would not be surprised if on this election at some point they go, well, we really can't trust that China and Russia won't manipulate the election, so we're just going to suspend it for a little while.
China.
It's China.
Well, I think, too, this is where you have to start paying attention, dude. When one guy is the voice saying we need to stop, I'll give you the answers, it's manipulation. It's called a dictatorship.
Yeah.
It's just straight up, don't worry, I'm here to help you. That is literally what Hitler did. That's literally every great dictator, the Caesars of past times that were corrupt. I promise you, Napoleon probably did it, in leading his. Just follow me. And I'm not saying, dude, we're all in that corruption. All of us have that ability to do it. If you could be a corrupt pastor and do that kind of stuff, okay? Don't tell your people to read the word. I'll do it for you. The Catholics did it during Martin Luther's time. So you see all these things. Just be careful. And dude, he's a prime example. How many billions have we fed this country? That funneled somehow to
billions.
And then the thing anyway. There's no accountability on this guy.
Always be aware of some. Probably
that's the question. Who's holding this guy accountable?
Nobody.
Who's he accountable to?
He's shut down any critical media. I don't know if remember we covered they were looking to ban an entire church organization because some of the people might be for Russia. This is a dictatorship, and America has been throwing their Ukrainian flag filters on Facebook, going freedom because Putin's a dictator. Okay, so you traded one for the other.
That's exactly it.
Great job.
Great job, dummies.
We're just going to abuse you today.
No, I'm serious. It's true. Do your own stinking homework. Don't just believe what the media says. That's how many times have we said that? I get actually tired of saying it.